everyone, and welcome to another episode of Can We Talk 420, where we live the change we wish to see in the world. And we're taping live from Mother Nature's Den again. I think this is our second episode. And please just bear with us because the Wi-Fi is still, we're off grid and we're doing the best we can with it. Peter and I were out all morning trying to find an adapter to connect the phone directly to the Wi-Fi. Hopefully we can fix the issue. So I do believe that the video is a little bit slower than the audio. So I'm just going to ask you to please bear with us.
It's more important what we're saying anyway, truly, really. We want the production to be as smooth as we could possibly have it be. But again, like Helen says, living off grid, you've got challenges. Now let's make a quick statement. Helen said, we live change we wish to see in the world. I try my best every day. She wants me to quit smoking. I'm having a hard time doing it. I screw up every once in a while. And, it's a change that I still need to make. And I'm trying my best.
Let me tell you, you're not gonna clog up this show with your inadequacy of quitting smoking. I don't want to hear it. Don't care. Don't want the excuses. It's just that simple.
Right.
Anyway, if you look behind me, we have sheetrock.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Probably about what?
When we filmed the show last time, we didn't even have insulation up. Yeah. So behind our, because this is where we sat last time, but we had the banner that we used to have, and you couldn't see that it was just all open walls. And so finally we have insulation and some sheetrock. So it's starting to feel like a home, which is awesome.
Yeah, we just need like a 25-year-old guy to help me on a ladder, put the last 8 boards on.
Yeah, I actually tried doing it with him, and my shoulders from serving, as long as I have, just don't have that overhead to, just sit there. Yeah.
No, we tried even cutting half sheets. we did.
Just not happening. It was too much. Yeah. But today, the show that we have today is very special to me. This gentleman, this POW, who is a prisoner of war, because this is a war, this fight that we're in to get cannabis use to everyone out there with no regulation. There shouldn't be one on there. This gentleman was arrested, did some time, and all for the plant, and now he's released. However,
to a halfway house.
He's not released to home. Mm-hmm. He's released to a halfway house. So we're going to hear from Adam Fogelman real soon, in a couple minutes. Mm-hmm. And
we were lucky to have Adam's and Kim is his mom, reach out to us. We were able to kind of get his name out there initially.
Well, Adam is from Ohio. He's a good friend of Glenn Keeling's from the Creative Care Beacon.
And that's how we heard.
And, we were accepting phone calls from him when Can We Talk was on Blog Talk Radio. He would call from jail and, get his voice out, get his story out and heard. And it makes a difference. We don't realize how much of a difference these campaigns that we all do make. And they make a big difference.
But they all cost us money. So you please look at our Patreon account, become a Patreon member, support this and other podcasts. There's other podcasts out there that have Patreon things too. But I mean, the thing about it is we all are never going to hear stories like this. You're never going to see this on the news. No one in a big news agency is going to care enough about a guy that was just, it has to do with weed. I don't care what he was doing. And we're going to hear his story anyway. I'll let Adam tell his story. He's been on before. We'll let him tell his story. But please visit our Patreon account at www.patreon.com/CWT42TVO. Correct? That's it? That's the whole thing, right? Yeah, because the swag thing is on the other one. Right. So, and we've got 6 memberships.
Calm yourself. You're talking too fast and way over. I was just going to say, Jim has it up already.
I get it, but we'll explain it. There are 6 levels ranging from a $5 a month membership
all the way to 100.
Right. And with each,
there it is.
And with each level comes certain perks. Once you get to the $30 level, which is a heavy quarter, you start to receive medications or products of sorts. Like I think soap is the first thing that medicated soap is the first thing that we give. But those are the things that to stop you from having to worry about the beginning of the month coming, and then you going, oh my gosh, I forgot to order my medicine. How long will it take to get? And we're just trying to make it easy on people, as well as, again, support this, podcast as well as our other ones. And then, of course, the swag.
Yes, we also, yeah, and that's another way that you can support. Aside from Patreon, you can support our swag account from Teespring. Yeah, Pete's gonna grab one of the masks. We've been getting some masks in. I made a bunch of them. They're pretty sarcastic. They might not be accepted in all workplaces. Furiosa! Can you hear that? They're not actually fighting. They're actually playing. They just make a lot of noise like someone's dying.
Here's this one.
So, but this is a poignant mask that we made. Now, I don't know if you all can see this, but this is a marionette. So it's a guy with a face mask on, and you probably saw this like somewhere online anyway. And then there he's connected. His mask is connected to a marionette with a hand above it. So it's just a poignant statement. No worries, Peter. It's a poignant statement about the conformity that we're all pretty simply falling into, or the majority anyway. Not all, because I certainly am not. I do what I have to do at work. I'll walk into a store, and if it's a store that's requiring the mask, if there's another one I can go into, then I'll choose to opt out. If not, then I put the mask on. It's just a matter of respect.
Well,
but I don't agree, nor do I believe. Thank you, Jim. Nor do I believe that it works in any way, shape, or form, protecting me from getting sick or protecting someone else from getting sick from me. So.
She actually made a mask. This mask is useless. Somebody
Somebody at work took this mask is useless mask.
Yeah.
And then the other one was calm down, Karen. It's allergies.
Yeah. And listen, that's the way that, if it's a way that we can get people to understand, even if they have to wear a mask, but just to make others understand that we're really not, don't even have to wear these things. It's silly to do it. I mean, we saw bathing suits, 2-piece bathing suits now sold with a mask. Now they're 3-piece. We've seen shorts and shirt sets sold with a mask, matching masks.
It's pretty disappointing, going out to go shopping for clothes and seeing that every shirt that's being hung has a mask that matches. Yeah. It's ridiculous. And I don't want this to be the new norm. Therefore, I don't conform to it. I choose to live off grid because my logical mind does not wrap around nonsensical shit. And that's what it is, nonsensical shit.
And the last big thing that happened kind of like with us this week was the launch of Mother Nature's Den.
Yes.
The big smile on that.
The launch of Mother Nature's Den's product line. And we got our first orders in, and we are making our own medicine. And I am so pleased. I am so pleased about that. Now more will come. Yeah. Right now we are doing a CBD isolate. We're doing a CBG and a 1-to-1. So that's where we're at right now. We're also doing some other holistic remedies. Peter will be starting to make tinctures for wild lettuce. Yep. And so those will be for sale as well. And down the line we'll make our own soaps and lotions and all of that. And that's all going to come.
What we're trying to do with our line is to make it not just like everybody else's, where it's just a CBD ridden thing made 56,000 different ways. Not that that's bad. I promote it. I hope everybody uses these products. But Helen and I have been in touch now with the Wallapai tribe, and we're going to sit down with the medicine men there, and I'm going to talk to them about native plants to here and ones that other ones that they can educate us on. Why? Because before we had all of this, powdery, poisonous crap that causes thousands of other illnesses and makes us feel even worse than before we took it.
No, guys, no.
Things that grew outside in our backyard. We treated with things that we foraged in the forest. Go. And there are so many plants out there that contain some holistic value, where we can use them to benefit from them where we're taking some kind of pharmaceutical.
Well, I think that it's plain to see with the ease of conformity into this new way of life that we've stepped so far away from Mother Nature that we're a broken, sick society. And as one of those members of society, I can say that, and all of you should as well. I mean, my God, the complacency that a lot of us are under. We just if it's said on TV, it's gospel, and it's got to stop. We got to start reading. We got to start understanding human physiology. Understand the being that you possess, so that you can take care of it. That's what Mother Nature's Den is about. I want to be able to teach people how to take care of themselves. Our doctors need it, absolutely, but they should not be needed in the manner that they are now. We need to take them out of the corporate building, bring them back into the community, and bring us all back to more of an apothecary time, and where we were healthier, we were happier, we were more open-minded. We weren't so. There's so much depression and anger in the world. And there's a reason why. It's not just, oh, this is the way it is. It's because of the way we learn to live, the way we learned to take what we think is what we're doing right.
The way we were pushed to live, the way we were pushed to learn, the way we were pushed, because all the things we were taught, and all those things are lies. Every bit of it is a lie. Well, we have to distinguish now between the fact of everything that we've been ever told is BS. And with that said, we should, like Helen's saying, everybody should be able to treat holistically, right from the earth, how we want, without the threat of being thrown in prison. And that's what kind of
for sure. And I just don't. I want more people to switch over to the holistic side of things. It pleases me so much when I hear someone say, you know what, I'm on this and I'm on that from Western medicine, and I just feel like shit all the time, and I just don't want it to. I don't want it anymore. And then they come and they ask me questions, and I'm able to answer them, and I'm able to give them a logical response of why Mother Nature works. And it's not just about cannabis that I'm talking about. It's about a lifestyle of eating correctly, drinking correctly, exercising. It's all of the above. And we have gotten to a place where we think that, oh, well, if I swallow this pill because the doctor says it's going to take this symptom away, but what about the other symptoms that are going to occur because of that pill? Why are we so accepting of these medicines that do so much harm? Sure, they might take away whatever the symptom is that's been driving you crazy that you need to get rid of. But what about all the other things that it's going to bring on? Why do we have such a big acceptance of that?
Because we've been trained to do that. Remember, we were watching a show I think it was yesterday or the day before. We were watching a show about aliens and extraterrestrials and space. And Area 51 came up, and they were going, but they found this stuff. They literally have possession of it. They shut down all these acres of towns and cleared out stuff and such secrecy and this, that, and the other thing. And people go, but then the government will turn around and go, oh, well, no, all that was wrong. It was just a weather balloon. And people go, oh, okay. And they're like, the guy literally said, the government if the sky turned purple tomorrow, and it was like, we don't know why, but the whole sky was purple, all the government would have to say is, that's no big deal. It's supposed to happen.
And it becomes the new norm?
Okay, good. The sky's supposed to be purple.
I don't get it.
We're so trained. We're so trained, and we got to get off that.
We do. But anyway, before I bring Adam on, what I want to do is, because Pete and I were scrambling to get back here and get the show together, I was supposed to mention an event for someone, another activist, a young activist. Her name is Amberly Taylor, and she is doing an event. I believe it's on the 25th. I can't remember the name. It's in my phone, and I'm using my phone. I did not have time to write it all down. So, Amberly, if you could please put it in the comments. I don't want to just not mention, I know that this is it's basically about taking people's lives from them in the courtroom. That's what the function is. and which is happening all too often. I mean, we have friends. Adam is a friend. His mother is a friend. We have friends that
Tracy, Lance.
Lance Glore that's still in prison. We have Glenn and Peggy that just got done with their case that lingered for over 2 years. Now we have Adela and Aaron Wisdom, who are really close friends. I love Adela with all my heart. She's just a special woman.
Yep.
And
running for office to make the changes.
Well, and look, man, and not only did they come over her property and raid her, and find nothing last year, they do it again. Now she's completely traumatized. Now every time they're just flying over her house just to harass her. What is that about? And how is that okay? It's not okay. She's got a PTSD to this now.
Absolutely.
So when a helicopter's flying over her house, she's freaking out.
Absolutely.
Not because she's doing anything wrong. She never was.
She's had people come in her house with automatic weapons pointed in her face, and that's just the end of it. When you have that happen to you, it don't matter. You can't help but have that PTSD.
That's right.
Can't help.
That's right. I mean,
Adam's probably suffering from
she's a strong woman, and she's being toyed with by the very political entity that she's running for.
To try to change.
Positive,
good change, by the way. Not
Missouri, get her into office. Get her into office so this stuff stops.
Yeah, get them both in.
Yeah, get them both in. It's imperative that we make these changes, and this is the only way we're going to do it. Look, I'm looking into the Libertarian Party here because I'm going to run for office, and I'm not going to stop until I do, because changes need to be made everywhere. We need as many libertarians in office as we possibly can, or just any like-minded party. I mean, I not even have to be a party, but any like-minded candidate.
Doing what these people want. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to have strong people that are going to represent people, not represent themselves.
Correct.
We got to get
let's bring Adam on.
Let's please.
Jim, can you bring Adam out of the back, please?
There we go.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Hi, Adam. How are you,
brother?
I'm doing okay. I'm honestly having quite a rough day today, but I appreciate you guys bringing me on the show and giving me the opportunity to speak.
Well, I'd like, for those that don't know your case from the beginning, I would like you to start there if you don't mind. And just tell us what
your
happened,
charges are,
and where you are now.
Right.
The floor is yours.
So I guess originally I was arrested in Ohio for trafficking cannabis. I was charged with the sale of over 6,000 grams of hash oil. That resulted from a raid in which they had found roughly 100 milligram edibles in my home. And then what the state of Ohio did was they took the edibles and weighed them in their entirety of their weight and charged me as if it were raw hash oil. And I did 16 months in prison over that. Now I'm released to a halfway house down here in Cincinnati, Ohio. And it's been quite a ride, honestly. It's been a long time. I've lost a lot of friends, a lot of family. If a man that was like a father to me died while I was in prison, I haven't gotten to see, any of my family, in about 7 months now due to COVID. Watching people get sick and die in prison from COVID was hard. At one point the spread was so bad they actually locked us in our cell pretty much 24 hours a day for about 4 straight months. And all this over a plant, that heals, more than it harms. So it's been,
that's for sure.
Yeah, it's been interesting. I'm very grateful to be on the backside of it now.
So how long do you have to stay in this halfway house?
The halfway house is a 6-month long program. they did assess
Okay.
me when I got here as a low risk candidate. So they said that as long as I can get verified employment and a verified house, then I can go home on house arrest as early as, a month from the day I got here. So maybe another 2 to 3 weeks at the earliest.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but that really is depending on them to do their jobs properly and to get all my paperwork filled out and turned in on time. And I'm hesitant to say that I have faith in their ability to do that.
Understand that. So now, while you're in this halfway house, are you able to leave during the day and look for employment yourself, or no?
No, it's actually quite contradictory because COVID right now. They say you're allowed to have a job, but you can't go out and look for a job. You can go to an interview, but you can't go out and fill out an application so you can get an interview. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, honestly.
Yeah, it doesn't. You do have access to the internet, though, correct?
I do, and I'm fortunate to
Right.
have a very large support network. So I actually have a job waiting. And all I have to do is get the employment specialist here to call and verify the job. And I've been trying to do that now for the past 3 days. I've been trying to get her to call and verify this job to no avail,
That's unbelievable that people drag their feet.
Is there something that any of us activists can do to push that forward for you?
I may. So if for anybody that doesn't have me on Facebook or know me, I've had a pretty traumatic few days here at the halfway house. There's been 3 overdoses in the past 2 days where people have died and had to be brought back to life with Narcan. And just not but a few hours ago, somebody fell out from an overdose and busted their head on a bedpost and bled out all over the floor. So I'm honestly having a pretty rough day today, just dealing with all of that mentally. And I'm going to go speak.
How does one get those types of drugs into a halfway house to begin with? How does that even happen?
They don't even really check you when you come in. They barely search you. So you can essentially just put anything you want in your pocket. Some people do have jobs and go out to work. I'm not really going to speculate to exactly how it's happening, but the security is very minimal,
Oh,
Yeah,
what a
don't
broken...
Don't fill out an application, though.
What a broken system. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
This is the best we got?
Yeah.
for the people coming out, I mean, and transitioning back into society, this is what we get. This is what we got to offer them. Wow.
Yeah,
I'm pretty disappointed.
It's really difficult, I'm not acclimated to this kind of environment or to be around this types of situations, to witness, somebody laying cold and blue on the floor is traumatic. To see somebody fall and bust their head and cover the floor in blood is traumatic.
What about visitation? What about visitation there? Can your mother come and see you there?
No visitation.
No. I mean, what the heck, man?
The best we can hope for you is getting you out of there within 30 days of your enter date to go home if you have a job, a viable job. So we have to get this person off their butt to validate this job for you.
Right. I'm gonna spend the next few days pushing pretty consistently to get my job validated. Tomorrow, I'm gonna speak with a supervisor about the trauma that's occurring mentally, from these events that are continuously occurring around me, and then the lack of effort I see being put forth to help, push these processes through. And if I don't get a positive response or some type of action, I may be asking for some type of help contacting and expressing concern.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you have to go through any type of red tape there to come on to this show today?
No, they allow us our cell phones. So I'm on my personal cell phone right now on a personal cell phone plan, and it's I'm grateful that it's not as restricted in that manner. So I have some contact with the outside world.
Yes.
But same what's a blessing for me is a curse for others, because people that don't have exactly the greatest intentions, have access to the to the outside world too, and that is what you see playing out in these like overdoses that are happening. Is
What determined your release, Adam? Was it like time served, and then this is the next step in it, or did it have to do with the COVID problem, or what was the beard?
No, so I applied for an early release due to COVID-19, and my judge denied me any early release because he said that I needed to spend my entirety of my sentence. So my time was served, and in the state of Ohio, they have a program known as transitional control, where after most of your time is served, you can spend the final 6 months of your sentence in a halfway house to transition back into society. So I'm actually still currently a prisoner. I'm still counted in the Ohio prison system. And if I were to leave this place, or if I do something that's not up to their code of conduct or standards, they could very easily send me back to the prison to finish my time.
And if they set you up with your after program, are you going to be on probation for any certain amount of time? I mean, have they discussed any of your release details?
Right. No, I don't have any parole or probation, luckily, because this is my first offense in the state of Ohio, first time in prison. So because of that, I don't have any parole. Once I'm done on March 10th of 2021, my sentence is over and I'm done.
I have a hard time with it just because they have a medical program. He was dealing with medical stuff. Yet he's going to walk around with something on his record.
Well, and look, this is something that this was his first offense, and this is what they give him, and it shouldn't have been an offense to begin with.
Right.
But
it's offensive that it's an offense.
It is extremely so.
Yeah,
I am so sorry that you're going through what you're going through, but I do want you to know that we're behind you 100%. And you need anything. You need anything. I'm good at pushing people and making them do some stuff. So you need me to make some phone calls, I'll make some phone calls.
Not for nothing. His mother, Kim, is just
right.
another
your mother is
extraordinary
amazing
lady.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody jump in to help and. As quick as her, she's an incredible lady.
You're truly blessed to have her. You really are.
Yeah, I'm very grateful. She very much was my rock the whole time I was gone. She's always been there for me. I can't express how grateful I am for my mother.
Yeah. Well, I want you to find some inner strength while you're there. Utilize your internet service and your personal cell phone to escape from what's happening around you, and keep your the people that you speak to, a small quality group, so that you can overcome what it is that's happening all around you with some logic and some rationale with people that get it,
Right. Yeah, I'm very grateful that I have such a large support network of friends and family that are here for me. They've asked me several times where they feel like my trouble areas are, or areas that I might have problems in life, and I've repeatedly told them that my only real problem in life is the fact that I'm stuck here over a plant that never hurt anybody.
Right, exactly. Man. Right, you didn't have a problem going in there. I mean, you didn't have any problems. They said you did, and because they said you did, you had to serve time for it. You had no problems, in my opinion. You were doing the right thing.
Right, I agree.
It's such a travesty of justice what's happened to you and what's continuing to happen, and the fact that you're placed in a house that's supposed to be helping you to transition into society in a positive manner, and completely failing to do that.
Right.
Just turns my stomach.
couple of people overdosing in your household is transitioning in today's society.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah, like I said,
Unfortunately.
there's been 3 overdoses in the past 24 hours, less than 24 hours. And it's not easy, being in that type of environment. And like as far as the prison system, trying to tell me that what I was doing was wrong. When I was in prison, they forced me to take a class known as victim awareness, where you have to identify the victims of your case and
Who was
empathize
your
and
victim?
sympathize with the victims of your case. And I told them, I said, I didn't have any victims in my case. They said, no, you definitely victimized somebody, or you wouldn't be in prison. Everybody in prison has a victim. They
Oh,
tried
wow.
they tried to force down my throat that I was victimizing society and I was
So now,
victimizing my community, and that I was
wow.
a menace to my society and to my community for doing what I was doing.
Wow. Oh, my God. Bravo to the systems. I can't even believe it. I'm so disgusted. I can't. I'm so disgusted by that.
We actually were walking out of a store yesterday while we were out running errands. And on the back of the car, there was no crime, big thing. We were like, way to go. We stopped a picture of it because we're like, at least others out there understand that, there's no reason.
There are still some logical minds left out there. And although they seem to be few and far between anymore.
Or just quiet. I just don't, well, I mean, I've conformed to the fact that if I want to live in freedom, I've got to create my own freedom. I can't wait for the government to give me it.
They can't get it right.
My show tomorrow night on the Voluntary Option, the title of the show is, do we live in freedom or freedom? And freedom being FREEDOM or freedom, FREDUMB. Because we got to be pretty freaking dumb to listen to the things that are told to us and said that this is the way you're supposed to live.
Or to think that we live in a free society at all.
Right, exactly.
It's ridiculous. What are you seeking? Are they trying to give you counseling while you're in there? Are they doing that as well?
No, they.
Well, thank God.
So I'm grateful. My case manager is a good person. It's unfortunate he's a new case manager, so he doesn't have much pull around here, but he is a genuinely good person that offers me time to come in and speak with him whenever I need, and he's expressed the fact that he doesn't believe that I belong here and that he's going to do everything in his power to expedite my, house arrest so I can go home.
Well, that's wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any repercussions for any of the overdoses for any of those people?
Yeah, like
were they reprimanded? Were they sent back to prison?
No, they got put on like a minimum form of restriction for like a few days kind of deal. As far as I know, to be honest, I don't really talk to any of those people. So I don't know the facts because I choose not to be affiliated. I don't want to be around that.
Agreed. I understand that.
Not completely understandable. Completely understandable.
I
just didn't know if they had been sent back to prison, if they had, if there was like a.
Well, if he steps out of line, he gets sent back to prison. What? I don't understand.
He was dealing with weed. What the hell's the matter with you?
Yeah, I asked them because I have my Ohio medical marijuana card, and I asked them when I got here if there was any way that I would be able to attain medicine. Can I use my medicine because I'm diagnosed with PTSD from the raids that I went through, and I also have chronic pain due to a severe hand injury in my left hand. And that's how I treat my ailments is with cannabis. And they told me absolutely not, that if I tested dirty, I would be reprimanded. And then if I tested dirty again, that there's a good chance I could get sent back to prison.
So now how is a logical mind to wrap around these events? Any of them. The fact that you are where you are and why. The fact that what's happening around you with the other people that were once inmates that have actually probably have a victim. and I can't wrap my head around any of this.
Well, did you have to pay for your card?
I did. It was $225 for the annual fee.
How much of that money have you got back now that you can't use it?
Yeah. Have you gotten any of that back?
Not a
Of
dollar.
course not.
You know, this is just ridiculousness at its worst. I just can't. My logical mind is having so much trouble with this, and it's just, it infuriates me.
When we all come to the realization to understand that the only true way we'll never see anyone ever in jail for cannabis again is if we end the prohibition.
For sure.
Why? Because we can set up medical states galore. We can set up rec states galore. And once we set up a rec state, we've destroyed their medical program to begin with.
That's right.
So why even bother with that? So here's where we're at. Unless we have an end to prohibition, we will go to jail, whether we're doing things what we consider legal or we consider things that aren't, because they can change the rules because they make the rules. And when people come at me with what's it called in New York, what they do where you don't get in trouble.
What?
When it,
I don't know what you're saying.
like I can carry up to 24 ounces. What's that called? Or 24.
Decriminalization.
Decriminalization is the biggest scam that our government uses. Why? Because of this. A gram of cannabis can determine whether you're a felon or just a dude that's doing nothing. Because if they say, oh, well, we'll decriminalize it, you can carry up to a quarter pound. Well, I'm a quarter pound and 1 gram guy. I like that extra gram. Now I'm a felon. So where is there any real justice in the plan?
There isn't.
If you get nailed on decriminalization, they take your weed and fine you anyway. So
you have a bunch of reefer madness people trying to make law on a plant they know nothing about. They know even less about human physiology. So here they're going to try and pass law. Then they're going to try to regulate something they don't even understand. Nor do they want to give it the time of day.
Joe Biden has been in our government since the 70s, since Nixon. He's not going to free weed. He has Kamala Harris, who has thrown more people in jail for marijuana and stripped medical licenses from men and women that were doing beautiful things within the industry because they understood they didn't have to cut people open and hurt them. They could actually use a plant to cure them. And you've got those two people as your choice against the orange Cheeto idiot. Now, if you people don't get it right and understand that there's a third-party viable choice that's going to bring home our people from overseas that are fighting there senselessly, is going to free all non-violent, victimless crime people from prison, is going to do this. These are what our candidate,
the libertarian candidate.
She's the only one out there saying it. Her and Spike Cohen are saying people should not be in jail for this plant or any plant. We don't own nature, first of all. We shouldn't be overseas fighting and getting our kids killed and have them sent back here damaged and not the same kids they were when they left. And there's so many other things that the libertarians stand for that are so what you hear people bitch about every single day in America, what's wrong with it.
Yep.
So let's do what's right. Let's not elect a guy that's been in goddamn government since the 70s and we've seen zero improvement. We've only seen more people go to jail because of it. Why would you even consider that? Why would a rational, normal human being want to continually throw Americans in prison for a plant? And that's the way it's going to be.
Well, the only thing that makes sense to me in why they do what they do is to continue with the control. The more people the more people that come off the pharmaceutical hamster wheel and get onto the cannabis line, the more people that we wake up. People are sleeping through life, and all of these corrupt entities that we supposedly are looking up to are just that, just corrupt. And we're sleeping right through it because that's the design that was set up for us. And we have to be smarter than that. We have to wake up and we have to realize that, yeah, this isn't right. How many times, when I was on that pharmaceutical hamster wheel, I know that there was little parts of my brain that were still working when I hear something come over the TV set about a new drug that came out and the laundry list of side effects, and I'd say, yeah, that's not right. But you never had the wherewithal or the cognizance to say, yeah, that shit's got to change. And but I have the cognizance now. I am awake and I am changing and I am a hard ass about it. I don't. It's something we all need to do. And I am so sorry for what you're going through, and I'm so sorry that you're stuck in a system that is completely set up for failure, and you're living it every day.
Right.
We just heard.
So I'll tell you.
It breaks my heart.
I'll tell you that no matter what, I think all of this has just shown me that I am stronger than I thought I was, and that I can push through adversities and trials and tribulations and come out better on the backside. And none of this has deterred me from my dream and my passion. You know, my passion in life is cannabis. So as soon as I'm able to, I'm going to be moving to Michigan to start my own medical cannabis grow as a licensed caregiver in Michigan. And then, I plan on giving back to the community, you know, as much as I can. I'm going to be donating a percentage of my garden to underfunded or underprivileged cannabis patients in Michigan, just to kind of help give back to the plant and to the community that's given so much to me in my life.
Good for you.
I can't wait for you to blow me a pipe.
Me neither.
Yeah. It'll hopefully, man. As soon as they let me go home, I'm grateful that my glass studio is still at my house. So as soon as I get home, I'll be able to set up and get back on the torch and start blowing glass again.
Perfect.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
I'm looking forward to placing my order.
I really appreciate it.
I've seen a couple of your pieces. I was like, yeah, I got to get me one.
Did you see the one?
You commented on it.
Well, it had the whole stem was just cannabis leaves. I loved it. I loved it. Yeah, I definitely want that one.
It was beautiful.
I appreciate the love and support, and I look forward, to coming on the show on a semi-regular basis and staying in contact with you guys. And I can't wait to meet you guys in person one day. You know, it'd be nice. Me and my mom will take a trip out.
Hey, come on down. We got a beautiful.
You have an open invitation to Seligman, Arizona, at Mother Nature's Den.
Yeah, I live so far in the woods that the dang animals need directions. So.
Right.
It is. It's great. Couldn't be happier.
Right.
Well, Adam, it was very nice to have you on. Is there anything else that you want us to know? Anything else that you want to get out there? Any way that anyone can help you while you're in there? Please let us know.
You guys have done a lot. I guess all I really want to say is thank you, and show my love and appreciation for the community, and to tell people listening to fight for somebody that they love, freelance glory. If you guys want to fight for a cause, freelance glory.
Awesome, man.
Thank you so much, Adam.
You're a stellar guy.
You are. Look at his mom. His mom is an amazing woman, and she just raised an amazing man.
Yeah. Well, we've been impressed with you from the first meeting. I'm glad that Glenn introduced us to you. And, dude, I didn't give you my new phone number. I'll inbox you my new number, because since we moved here, I changed my number. But I'll give you my new one.
I think Tim might have it, or has mine anyway. But
feel free to message me.
I'm going to follow you and find out. I'm going to keep a close eye on when you're getting out, and
do us a favor. If you don't hear any news in the next 3 days from that lady that's supposed to at least just make a phone call to check on their employment, please let us know.
Yeah, let me know.
We'll get on.
I will.
We'll get on. I'll get warriors on the road.
Yeah, it's unacceptable that you're going through this to begin with. The least they can do is do their jobs.
Right.
So.
I appreciate it, and I hope you guys have an excellent night. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you, Adam.
Anytime, man. Anytime you want to stop by, anytime you got something important to say, all you ever have to do is reach out. We'll give you as much time as you want.
Yeah. Likewise, if you guys ever need anything, if I can help you, I'm more than happy to.
Thanks, you,
Adam. Thank you so much.
It's what makes the world go round, right there.
Yeah, it is.
Excellent.
Wow. Well, that was Adam Fogelman, again, prisoner of war, the cannabis war. And he is, as you can tell, sitting in a halfway house after serving, what did he say, 16 months in prison? After being kidnapped and held hostage in a prison. Now he's in a halfway house being held hostage some more, where people are overdosing right around him, 3 of them in 2 days. How is this acceptable? Come on, people. This is, I want to know how many Ohioans live next door to this fucking place. And
listen, I don't give a shit if they all
I'm so mad.
They can do whatever they want to their bodies, do whatever they want to, but don't call it a rehabilitation center and hold
well,
a
it's
guy.
not a rehabilitation.
All the guys doing weed.
Wait a minute. It's not a rehabilitation center, Peter. It is a halfway house.
That's right.
Halfway houses are designed to take people from prison to society and transition them slowly into society, into a workforce and back into their home. And it's supposed to be a safe place. It's supposed to be a safe place. This is not a safe place. This is not a safe place for a mind that is open, logical, and receptors are working. And he's got to deal with this. He's got to deal with people that have no problem bringing in their drug of choice and killing and not getting in trouble at all. There's there's really nothing. But yet he is a medical marijuana card holder.
He can't even use the plant.
And he can't even use the plant as his medicine, not his drug of choice, mind you, because it's not a drug in that sense. Not like the drug that's ODing these people around him. That's for sure. And this is okay. Why is this a federally funded halfway house, a state funded halfway house? Why is this happening? Why is this okay? It's not okay. If this was happening here in Arizona, if someone was on my show that just told me that this was happening here in Arizona, I'd be on that door.
Oh, yeah, we'd be there.
Excuse me.
We'd be there. That's for sure.
What are your policies on your residents bringing drugs into the house?
Well, he told me that. He had no trouble.
Understand, but I'm all about personal accountability. I am a life coach and accountability coach, and I am all about personal accountability. I hold everybody responsible for themselves, and I got a big problem with this. I got a big problem with that boy sitting in that halfway house with this shit going on around him, and nobody seems to want to do anything about it. And yet, he's got a job waiting for him.
Yeah, I got a bigger problem with that.
I got a problem with it. I got a problem with it all. And then, and the person that's supposed to validate his work is just pushing it off 3 days now. Get off your ass, lady, and get it done.
There's COVID out there. How's she gonna make a phone call? Fucking, she's got to social distance herself from the fucking phone receiver.
My husband has jokes.
It's the truth. I mean, it's everything. Every time you say something in today's world, the answer is, "Oh, well, COVID." But what is COVID? Put the brakes on shit now? Is it like this?
I don't get it,
fucking
man. Get on the phone and validate the boy's job.
Yeah, fucking bullshit.
You know he doesn't belong in that house if that's the way you're running that house and allowing ODs to happen. 3 of them in 2 freaking days.
Listen to this.
Come on.
Shit, you're not gonna
get him out.
Stop. That's kind of shit's gonna happen. But the fact of the matter is that if you've got a guy that's following things to the T, and you got a guy that's trying to just get out, you know what I mean? Like he's just trying to go.
I'm going to say it again. Our society is broken and sick. If this shit's okay, it's broken and sick and totally unacceptable.
The guy shouldn't even be there. He shouldn't have went to jail. He shouldn't even be there. I mean, that's just the bottom line. He shouldn't be experiencing any of the things that he's experiencing because he didn't make ill choices. He made good choices with a system that is just more screwed up than.
So I want to hear. I want my producer Jim to come on. Jim, I want to hear what you have to say about this. I want your thoughts on tonight's show and what we all heard. You there?
He might be.
Mr. Jim Freedom, our producer.
How's it going?
Hey. So you tell me, what did you think about that?
Well, obviously it's messed up. It's I have a story I can somewhat tell of my own that's the same, not the same, but I was not pulled over once. I was in a parking lot and I backed out of a parking lot and bumped into a lady. Okay. Now, had insurance covered everything as far as that's concerned. So she's not a victim anymore at this point, right? Because she's been made whole.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
what happened was she was a young girl. It was her mom and dad's car. She was real nervous, yada yada. And there just so happened to be an officer there with a tow truck towing somebody else's car, who I'm assuming just got a DUI or something. And she's all nervous and she says, "Well, I think I should tell the cops about this." And I was like, "Well, go ahead, you know." So the cop comes over. He does what he's supposed to do. He was actually, dare I say it, a good cop, you know, and he just took my information, wrote it down, gave it to her, said his information's good, here's his insurance, calmed her down and said, all you have to do is contact his insurance information, which is what I just gave you, and you'll be made whole again through insurance. Have a nice day. And he told both of us to have a nice day, right? And I shit you not, I was standing right here. The officer was right here. He says, "Have a nice day." And this officer right in front of me tells me, "Have a nice day," turns around and go about his job. And unknowingly to me, another officer comes from behind us and like whips right in front of me with a flashlight right directly in my face and says, "So were you drinking or anything tonight? Is that what happened to cause this accident?" And I was literally like, he caught me so bright and back, I stumbled backwards. And then now I'm like, what, anxiety kicked on, like, what the hell is this going on? What just happened? I thought everything was over, you know what I mean? Everything's fine. And he literally proceeds to trick me basically into submitting through the test, and I give him the breathalyzer and walk the line and all this stupid crap, because I'm like, I don't even drink. So I'm like, I'll go through his stupid thing, let him know I'm not drunk, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. And he's like going through the stuff and acting like all cool with me, like, I appreciate your cooperation, you know, this will all be over soon. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I think it's a little bit silly and ridiculous. If you think it's not such a big deal, obviously I'm not inebriated, you know what I mean? You're sitting here talking to me like I'm not. And he goes, well, we just got to go through the process. And then I was like, well, what's the rest of the process? I blew all zeros for you in your breathalyzer, et cetera. He goes, well, the next process is going over to my mobile command center around the corner here and getting a blood draw. And I was like, well, I don't consent to that. I don't consent to that. What are you talking about? That's ridiculous, right? Well, if you don't consent to that, then I'll just have to arrest you and then take you in, and we're going to get it anyways. So, I mean, I don't know what you want to do here. One way or another, our next step is to go draw your blood and see what your blood content was, etc. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I fought it all I could, but obviously it's a state, and they dragged me to the fucking mobile command center, and they stuck a needle in my arm and pulled blood out. And because my blood had THC in it, they issued me a DUI. A felony DUI, because my 15-year-old daughter was in the car.
How long ago was this, Jim?
What's that?
How long ago?
4 years now.
Wow.
Three or four, whatever. My daughter was 15, and my daughter was in the car with me, and that's what made it an aggravated felony DUI.
Wow.
Because of a fender bender in a parking lot where my victim was made whole through insurance. It was entirely just for the state to generate revenue off of me, over $5,000 worth of fines and et cetera bullshit.
They will just do any corrupt.
They have no shame. They have no shame at all. No shame whatsoever. They will bleed this nation dry if we let them.
Yes, for sure.
We have people, unfortunately, though, that believe that they're doing everything the way they should do it, and us bad people should be all thrown in jail.
Look, you know, the only way that a mandatory blood test should ever fly is if an accident occurs and there is bodily injury or death. That's the only way that it should even happen.
Okay, so then let me argue that point with you. I smoked pot 3 days ago.
Yeah,
I
but
smoke a shit ton of pot. I fucking drive down the road. Some kid's on his bike. I accidentally and unfortunately kill him. But I'm completely sober. And I go, I ain't taking no tests. I'm sober.
Well, marijuana shouldn't even be in there.
Well, right,
in that test. Anyway, I understand that, but it shouldn't be. And again, if we were to test for cannabis, the only way it would ever truly work is in a simulator.
Right. You can't listen.
You can't
I
do
don't
it without
know how
that.
they got away
It's
with
ridiculous.
whatever they got away with him to begin with, because there was no smell of alcohol, no alcohol.
They didn't even blow anything.
They blews all zeros. They're just trying to get him on something.
Yes, and that's what it is. That's what it is. It's just we got to stick them with something.
Our police anymore don't enforce law. They try to find crime.
Yes,
and that's just bullshit.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, you know, in the military, in the service, every time I was ordered to police the area, that meant I was literally to walk around and look for trash to throw away. That is our modern day policing in our current world.
That's
They're
right.
going around looking for what they consider to be the worst of society, the trash of society, so that they can pick it up and throw it in a cage. Horrible.
I know, man, Tim. Their abuse of power. The abuse of power is ridiculous. Like I'm not a fan, and everybody knows I'm not a fan of anybody running for office. Really, I'm just not a fan of him. Let's be realistic. We got a guy that's been again in that White House since the 70s. I mean, and now they want to make him president. I mean, it ain't like since the 70s we've made great strides and in cleaning up.
We're
our
just still doing the
it,
same dumb shit.
Well, we're making it even worse, I believe.
For sure.
I don't even think it is the same. I think it's actually even
It
worse.
It is. You're right. It is.
So and then people want to go, but people want to say all they want to say about Trump. But one thing I will say about the guy is he has done everything he said he was going to do.
And he has.
Right, wrong, or indifferent, whether we liked it, whether we didn't like it. He said, I'm going in and I'm going to do this. And he went in and he pretty much did it. But for people to go back and say, he's got 200,000 deaths on his hands.
It's a fucking lie.
Oh, bullshit. He got no deaths on his hands. He has 0 deaths on his hands. Let's talk about the guys before him that had H1N1 that they never did nothing about. 1 million people died, not 200,000. 1 million Americans died. And, but that's not nothing. We weren't covering our faces. We weren't, acting foolish. But they've got this country so wrapped up and scared that they're going to die if they don't wear these masks, and they're going to die.
And if they didn't set them up for that fear mongering, because they set them up for it. Look, their brains are not working properly. So the only thing that they have is they've targeted that fear. They've made it so that it's easy. It's simple with shit like that, illogical shit like that.
People always sit back and say that we're crazy people and we're like uncaring and this, that, and the other, because we say that. No, I'm not. 200,000 people died of a common cold this year. 200,000 people died of a bee sting. 200,000 people died of taking aspirin when they shouldn't. Be smart, people. Take care of yourself. Treat your body right. Stay healthy. If you get sick, you're gonna get sick. You're gonna. So eventually, somebody you know is gonna. But it don't make it something that we all have to wear these hazmat suits to walk around the world and not be able to go in and sit down and have a drink or some food without covering our face. That's even the funniest thing. Cover your face to walk into the restaurant, sit down at your table, take your mask off. You only got to have your mask on if you're walking around. Why? My COVID don't travel? What do I got? Special COVID? You got like a system in here that pushes COVID over your table and centralizes it. You can only sit amongst your COVID. Come on, man. Are you foolish? As every last damn ignorant human that's driving around their car by themselves with a mask on their face, afraid that their steering wheel is going to give them COVID-19. Or they're going to drive by somebody and it's going to come in the vent of their car. Look, are you really that dumb?
Look, just like, and I know that, Adam was just on and talking about how, COVID was running rampant in the prison that he was in, and he saw a lot of people die. And, what I have to say to that is, concrete pulls and sucks the energy and minerals right out of a human body.
Yeah.
So you're at your weakest in there.
And if you're pinned in there and locked together,
and eating state food,
yeah.
you're not getting any nutrients.
Oh, gosh, please.
You're just getting sicker and sicker by the day. So you're open. You're susceptible to getting something like that.
Yeah, they're creating
so that and I understand the fear that somebody like Adam would have coming out of a situation like that, but I would want him and others in his situation to understand why that is. They're living a lifestyle in there that's making them susceptible to all types of viruses. It just so happens that COVID was placed upon us.
The thing about that too is, if we think about that, like people will say to us, well, you're saying don't worry about COVID, yet you're saying worry about the prisoners with the COVID.
No,
it's a different situation.
I'm trying to say
living. No, I know. I'm saying it too. I'm just saying in general, when those people are in prison, they're locked there, all in a lump. And if somebody gets it, yes, it's gonna go right, and it's all gonna go right. Yes. So why are we sticking people that don't even belong in there in that situation to begin with? People that don't even belong in a prison, we're gonna take them and shove them in the soup of sickness and illness. That's why we fight for them, because they don't belong there to begin with. Now you go down the road and shoot somebody in the face for no reason. Yeah, go to jail. And if you get COVID, yeah, okay, well, you got it. You belong in jail. But the guy just fucking selling some edibles or has edibles in his house. Come on, man.
I think my point in stating that is that it's not that Peter and I don't believe that COVID exists. We believe that it exists, and we believe that it was given to all of us. Yeah. We believe that a healthy immune system, a healthy being, can fight it for sure. And I think, and in situations like being in prison and living in a concrete jungle amongst, other people that are being sucked dry by the concrete that they live under, and the foods that they're eating are going to be susceptible. It's all going to boil down to how you're living your life. Now, they're living their life that way because they're made to live their life that way. Some people live their life that way because they choose to live their life that way. We all need to understand that Mother Nature is here. She is the mother to us all. She is here. She is here to regulate us. She is here to help us stay healthy, to achieve homeostasis. In the concrete jungles that we choose to live in and the ones that we're made to live in, we don't stand a chance. All
life follows the same basic principle that the strong will survive, and and that's it. If you make yourself strong, then you don't have to really worry as much. Good.
I was just going to say, I would also add on the subject of the COVID, you have to remember that the narrative is being pushed out by the greatest liars that have ever existed. And that's specifically with the prison population, I guarantee you the numbers that we're getting for prisoners that died of COVID are being given to us by the highest levels of the state, which we know is greatest liars on ever existed.
Exactly.
So, I mean, we don't know, not to be too conspiratorial, but they could just be killing them off and using that as an excuse, getting off who they consider to be the worst of society. I'm not saying that's what's going on, but I would say they definitely are inflating the numbers. And it has a lot to do with, like you guys were saying, they're already being made to be unhealthy in prison. So whatever they catch, they're more susceptible to catch anything, COVID or not. And if they do die of anything, a staph infection from a cut or whatever, they're obviously going to be listed as the COVID death. So it may appear that more people are dying in prison of COVID than actually are.
That's right. The people in prison and the people that are in the old age homes.
Why can't
they're getting riddled with COVID as well. Why? Because they're susceptible.
Listen, why can't we just sit back as a society and understand and know that every year some new flu strain or illness comes around, People get infected by it. It runs its course, and then it's over. But why do we?
This is a bioweapon.
Feel like we have to. Why do we feel like we have to, to get into the hype of it all? Why do we feel like if we're not, in the hype of all of this stuff, then we're being irresponsible, or we're not. I mean, I don't know. I just guess that it's just another way to accomplish goals in which they feel are important, in which they want to happen. Because again, if you've got a society that ain't going to fight back against you and stop you, I mean, it's like imagine like a guy like Brett Favre or Tom Brady with his offensive line and his receivers with no defense on the other side. Like nobody, not like Woody Monk, or have the water boy out there. Have him out. He's got to rush the pass or try to stop everything and this, that, and the thing. Let's imagine if that was the case. Of course, they're going to score every time.
Mm-hmm.
That is, the government is the high-profile quarterback, and we are that fool standing on the sidelines or sitting in the stands watching, going, "Hey, watch them! They're going to do amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
Watch them! They're doing great stuff. Watch! Oh, look at them! They messed up. How horrible are they?" But we're still sitting in the stands. We're not doing a damn thing. In 44 days from now, pick up your pen, pick up your punch, push a button, do what you got to do to end the crap that's going on in this world, period.
That's right.
And we can make a difference. We really could. We really could. Again, we'll push the LP.org. Joe Jorgensen.
Right.
Thank you, Jim. Joe's who we've got. Now, again, is Joe, my opinion, the best candidate? Hell no. For the LP, she's not, in my opinion. I know lots of guys that ran and women that have ran that I've spoke with, had the pleasure of interviewing, spent time at conventions with, been personal friends of, that I believe have better platforms. I believe Joe has the better chance this time, unfortunately. We live in a society that's still is like look at the Democrats. The Democrats themselves said, well, we're not even going to look at another vice presidential candidate unless it's a minority female. You don't pick things for that reason.
No,
you pick the best people for the job. You don't pick somebody that's going to get you elected.
And not for nothing. I mean, Kamala Harris, really. And now she wants to jump on the cannabis bandwagon. Yes. I'm going to say this to you, Kamala Harris. You want to get on the cannabis bandwagon and give my fucking doctor his license back.
You want to get on the cannabis bandwagon, go and buy $100 a month Patreon freaking membership from us. Call us at our website, www.cannawetalk420small.com. Set up an appointment. And you might get educated a little. Mm-hmm. You might learn something. And you might become someone that people could respect.
Maybe she should reverse my felony so I can vote.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
What about that shit, too? People say it all the time. Now, like, I'm looking at Adam. He's in jail for having edibles. Okay? You can have edibles if you got a card. He's got a card in Ohio. What the hell, man? Look at DeLisi. Look at Richard DeLisi. In jail since the late 80s. In 95 years, the man's going to do. It's a living death sentence. And he's got to sit there while what? While Florida's legal. He's sitting in jail for a goddamn plant that people outside on the street can smoke now.
Yep.
Now, how is that fair?
It's not. And these are the wrongs that have to be fixed. And you can't be slow moving about it.
No.
You got to fix this.
What the hell is so hard to do about it? You write a piece of paper like you do your other piece of paper, you sign it and you make it work.
Everything is so broken, man. It's just so broken. And it's devastating. It's just devastating that this is the situation that we're in. I mean, I honestly, when I got into activism for the cannabis plant, I didn't think that this is where we would be in 2020. No. I did not see this coming. And I'm so disheartened by it. but it's not going to make me give up. That's for damn sure. I'm just going to fight even harder. I am a fighter. It's all I know how to do. And I'm just going to keep doing it.
I would say
but
this.
damn.
I would say that I would suggest the positive silver lining, if you will. Everything that's happening and going down right now, Corona and everything, is like the government's last death throes to cling to power. And it's happening right now because so many people have been waking up, and so and at such an alarming exponential rate. So
Yes.
they were about to lose power anyways, so they came up with something that just completely derailed all the freedom movements, basically, to some degree, enough of a degree that they can continue on with this new normal, at least past till election. Who knows what's going to happen after that? But the key silver lining is it's all happening because the critical mass amount of people have woken up, I believe, and it's only a matter of short time before the games of the old world are done and we move on to the
I think
next
you're
phase.
absolutely right. Well said, Jim. I think you're absolutely right.
And again, it comes to the choices, guys. Just make the right choice. Make the right choice for you. Again, if the Biden camp is so screwed up, I mean, if you're a minority and you vote for him,
Bagheera.
you haven't paid attention to any policy he's ever passed. The policies in which he has passed have thrown more black men in jail and more black women in jail than any other than anybody else. This man is not on their side. He stands for the government party in which is supposed to be minority driven, but he's done nothing but hurt you guys, man. Hurt you. Now, is there empathy or sympathy out there? Well, no, not if you vote for him. I mean, it's that's just the way it is. We can't step in dog shit and don't think it's going to stink. Or if we step in it and it stinks, we think we could sit back and go, well, that one shouldn't have stunk. Can we make it not stink? It ain't going to work that way. We have to make smart choices on our own. We have to make smart choices on our own. We have to go out and vote. We have to go out and vote for people that are going to carry out what we want. Not what they say.
Well, what I have to say is, everybody, please keep waking up.
Mm-hmm.
Please keep waking up. Just keep waking up. Get as close to Mother Nature as you possibly can. Get your feet in the dirt. Drink water,
and
not purified, alkaline your water.
It doesn't matter what the doctor has labeled you with. Don't just take that and say, oh, well, I've got to do it this way. We have success with people with Parkinson's disease. We have people with success with Alzheimer's. We have people who have success with diabetes. We have people that have success with Crohn's disease. We have people that have success with Lyme disease. All of these things that people go, oh, well, no, you're going to be on pharmaceuticals for the rest of your life. Well, you don't have to be. And I think that's why the government is scrambling so much, like he's saying, because so many people, once they try the product, they can't deny it.
Well, yeah, a lot of people are waking up, and I think that Jim did hit the nail right on the head. So with that being said, Mother Nature's Den has its own product line now, and it's still going to be CanWeTalk420.com.
Yeah.
And that is our company, that is our brand, and all of these other companies that we possess are just under that umbrella. Mm-hmm. So, it's www.CanWeTalk420.com.
Yeah,
that's where you can purchase Mother Nature's Den's products.
How do you got it set up now for people to become buying members?
When you go on it, and when you go onto the website, Jim has it up right now. And if you go over to the cannabis dispensary, once you click on it, it's going to ask you to just put in to become a member. And you just simply put in your email address and create a password, and boom, you're in the store. You can just start.
It's that simple. There's no money
very
involved.
Simple.
There's no nothing. It's just a protective thing for us.
It's growing every day. Like I said, we will have some Native American tinctures on there. Also, we will have other things like cocklebur and prickly lettuce or wild lettuce. Mm-hmm. and many others. I do have some hemp jewelry on there for anybody who just wants to shop, and I'll make things to order.
And we carry some other people's stuff like Alice CBD. She's got some things.
I
out
have
there, like,
Alice
especially her
CBD.
white
I
and,
have
Lion's Mane. That Lion's Mane complex is a great thing.
It is a great thing. That lion's mane. It's very important. It's so important to the health of your brain, and we also have on there Bliss Molecules, and so which we will even though Mother Nature's Den, which is ours, is coming to life now. We're still going to represent those other products. So because they're good products, and Maria's products, which are Mary's Natural Creations. And I love her products. Her soaps.
Man. We burn through her soap like it's.
Are you kidding me? Her soaps, her hand sanitizer. I take that to work.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because the other hand sanitizers just dry you right out. This has the CBD in it. It keeps your skin soft. Mm-hmm. So that's important to me. Mm-hmm. But so we're gonna wrap this segment up, and
just visit our Patreon account, visit our Teespring account, and keep watching us, man.
And if you're watching this on Facebook, please click off and go onto the YouTube.
Yeah.
It helps us with our watch hours, and once we have enough watch hours, then we can start monetizing. So, and that's important as well. That'll help. So please go to the YouTube channel, CanWeTalk420.com. If you're not already a member, become a member. If you're not already a member of the Voluntary Option, go to YouTube on the Voluntary Option channel and become a subscriber there. Facebook, also, Helen's Holistic Hints. No, those are just 3-minute segments, but I teach some really great stuff on those segments.
She's getting ready to do a really nice
and I'm going to do another one.
I'm waiting for that one.
And it's all the things that we're doing are important to change the broken sick society that we have. I was once part of that. I was on that pharmaceutical hamster wheel, and I was that nodder that burnt holes in my quilt because the pills I was taking, I couldn't stay awake. And it's amazing to be on this side now, where I can still refer back to what I felt back then, how I thought, my thought process, all of that, and how I am now, and seeing that it was a possibility to change. Because back then I felt stuck. I felt like it wasn't going to get better. I was just getting older. I was losing my mind. I couldn't keep thought. I couldn't stay in conversation, so I'd avoid them. It's not that it's yesterday. Yes, and it's not that way anymore. And I'm so grateful that I have the cognizance to have been able to see the difference and then learn from all of it, and to understand why it was like that and now it's not, and how I've been able to evolve and change that.
Like I said to you,
I'm so proud of it. And I just want anybody that can feel what I'm saying because they're living it now, and you want out, please reach out to me, because I know I can help.
Listen, guys, it's because, like I said to Helen, I can remember being on handfuls and handfuls of pills a day and going, can you imagine if the doctor took these from me? I wouldn't be able to keep my eyes open. I wouldn't be able to live. I'd be in so much pain, blah, 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 blah. All of that shit went away. Well, not all of it. I mean, I still have symptoms, but treated with cannabis, where I don't have 50,000 things that I take, where I am I'm comprehensible. There's comprehension during my whole day. I'm not nodding off. I'm not falling asleep. I don't have any of those issues. But there was a time where we said, there's no way. How could anybody ever expect me to not be on
I'm sure that there's many people out there that feel that way.
But understand, like Helen said, she was a nodder. I had the opposite with opiates. I'd stay awake for 15 days straight. Now, there's people that go, I can't sleep. I'm in pain. I'm taking my medicine. Well, it's the opiate keeping you awake. It depends. We all have different physiology. Our bodies metabolize things completely different. So what's good for you might not be good for me. What's good for me might not be good for you. So That's the best way.
So anyway, keep all that in mind, and if you do need help, please reach out. You can find me. All my contact information is on my website, canwetalk42small.com. I'm on Facebook everywhere between Can We Talk, Helen's Holistic Hints, The Voluntary Option, and Mother Nature's Den.
And if you're in Arizona, please just look us up. We'll do what we
yes.
can. I mean, we'll do what we can to help you while we're here. That's all.
So with all of that being said, be the change you wish to see. Just live it. Till next time. Thank you for joining us on Can We Talk.
Peace. Join in tomorrow night at the Voluntary Option on our YouTube channel as well. And you'll get to collect the political end of it. Again, freedom or free dumb. What are we living in?
I'm living in freedom. But I created it myself.
That's right. Peace,
so,
everybody.
Take